Thank you very much. I appreciate it, honestly. No, but it feels good to be able to express myself as well, being able to talk about the struggles, because it wasn't easy. Like, this is probably one of the hardest things and biggest things in my life so far, because it happened at such a crucial part of my life, like from 17 to 20, and I was injured. So he's only just turned 20, but this is 17 to 19. So yeah, but I'm very grateful. Yeah, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. That's the thing. It's telling your story for anyone with a story. It's hard, and it's definitely a challenge to sometimes say it out loud and to feel the emotions again and process and go through the experiences again.
Yeah.
And I know it's a struggle for nearly everyone that does it. So to be able to sit and to say it is, it's huge. So.
Yeah. Nice. It is, man. It is just. I don't want to get emotional.
We're both going to get emotional. You'll get emotional, I'll get emotional, we'll both start crying. Someone will come in and be like, why are they crying?
Might have changed your life.
I think so, because I have been blind since birth, haven't had any vision whatsoever since, oh my god, it keeps getting me here, 2014. Got a lot physically stronger, which is always nice and always helpful when you need someone to open a jar. But I think I never really knew many people with kind of disabilities or health conditions before, and it's just like the openness and the inclusivity and just the way that people are so welcoming in that space. It's just so incredible. I don't think words can fully describe it.
To reach out, to realise that it's normal to feel difficult. You're not the only one in the world. You're not alone. And just to accept help, don't push it away, because I think that was my biggest downfall, was pushing away help, because I thought I could do it all by myself. But as soon as I started letting people in, that's when things turned around.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It's kind of the acceptance of, first of all, you're not alone. And second of all, it is okay to ask for help. And kind of once you do start to ask for help, whatever the help is, as soon as you ask for help, it's like the barriers open and things can really start to get better.
Yeah, definitely. It's like they say a problem shared is a problem halved. Once you have reached out, it's not all on you, and actually people can help you rationalize your thoughts and be like, actually, this isn't the end of the world. This is just a blip in the way things of life. So it puts it into perspective when other people see it.
I love the 3-second rule, where during special moments, I like to take a 3-second pause and absorb that moment with all of my different senses. So I try to smell the moment for 3 seconds. I try to hear the moment for 3 seconds. I try to see the moment for 3 extra seconds. And each time I do a different one of my senses, and all of a sudden I build a long-term memory of that moment, and I get to hold it that much longer. In life, there's going to be different moments that are hard, different moments that are beautiful, but all those moments together make up life. And we have this life to live, so let's live it to our best abilities and keep experiencing it and going after as many different memories as we can.
And it's all like a learning process.
Yeah.
Life as a whole is a learning process.
It is, how do you create this new normal and this next chapter of life?
Yeah. Like, for example, now to swing out of bed, I've got to put a leg on. It still makes me laugh to say it, but you have to put a leg on. And or if I go for a long drive and I've got mates in the car or something, I'll be like, oh, can someone pass me my leg? Just so I can get out of the car, because I don't wear my leg when I drive.
When you make it your own way and you do it your own way and you found sort of yourself in that, it's great. It's a great little pocket of happiness that you can just rely on to remind you that you are capable. Amazing, this little person that's inside of you, that you can just, if you can just open it up a bit, you can become this whole person that's positive, outgoing, or just whatever makes your life you, like what makes you happy with you. I couldn't tell you 5 years ago that I was happy with me, maybe even 4 years ago that I was happy with me. I did not like me at all. I was not the person I wanted to be. I didn't even really fully see a light out of it. Now I like me. I love my life. I love the way I am now. And if I just stayed like this forever, that would be great. Even if I had a flare up and went back down, which happens, you know, I know this is capable. I know this is me. I can get there. You know, it's. I've done it once before. I can come back.
Did I understand depression? Not in any way, shape or form. Not at all. I was very fully functional. I was out there. I was getting on with it, but it was an internal battle. You know, those voices in your head kind of thing. Yeah. It's very, very real and devastating. You know, and very self-destructive. You've got to understand that you're not alone out there. Yeah. You know, there are people that can help you. Don't be embarrassed. I will continue to fight and talk, and you only got one shot. You've got to make it count. You've got to go and live the life to the fullest that you can. Yeah. You know, embrace all the experiences, whatever it is, whether you love art or you love music or reading. You know, mine happens to be sport. Yeah. That's what living is. Yeah. You know, my emotional intelligence coach, Jim Reed's first thing that he taught me was to stop standing in the way of myself. You know, be good to yourself.
And there's obviously, it's a scary thing to try something new and to maybe let go of something you were used to.
I went from working with everything to nothing. And for me, I just really struggled with that during the lockdown because I didn't really have anything to work towards. And because pools were closed, I couldn't do the swimming training that I really wanted to do. So I had to replace it with like running and cycling.
You know, the phrase one door closes, another one opens. You know, unfortunately, you did stop swimming, but then you've kind of opened a door to something that, you know, a few years ago you never thought you were going to do. And now
it's not something I wouldn't have expected. If you told me 2 years ago I wouldn't be doing swimming anymore and I'd be somewhere else, I'd be like, no, I'm working on swimming. This is where I want to be.
Sometimes the plan doesn't always go how you want it to, but that's not so much a bad thing because sometimes you end up in an even more amazing situation than you were before.
Just because I can't read right, I have this superpower in a different area. It's just been such a difficult up and down journey. I think I've just really struggled growing up. You know, my biggest insecurity is people seeing through me to who I actually am. And I actually don't care now, whereas I used to really care. And because I'm proud of who I am, you got to trust your gut and trust your heart. If you love doing what you're doing, don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Just literally follow the dream. If that dream is the slightest thing possible, just do it.
You said you went from, you know, being a kid who struggled in school. You've become not somebody that anyone else told you to be or somebody that anybody else wanted you to be. You've become exactly who you've wanted you to be. If you have a dream and you want to do it and you want to follow it, you can become that person and chase it.
If they really love it, they must never give up, because then they're going to achieve what they want and what they desire. If they doesn't love it really, then what can I say? But if they love it, nothing can stop them.
You never give up, and that's the thing, you're not going to give up. So.
Never. That is my mindset from a small kid, you know, never giving up.
All I want to do is get that person back. Yeah. I want that person back, like now.
Yeah.
But don't hold on to the past. Yeah. You actually have to let that person. You have to let that person go. That person is gone because you've been through so much. You're never going to be that same person. It's up to you to do that, and when you want to do it. A lot of times we hold on, and we want that back. You can be a variation of that person. Yeah. You might even be a better variation of that person. But that side of you, it's just another kind of like, you know, chapter in your book. Yeah. Or part of your journey that you have to say, you know, I'm glad I was that person, but now I'm this person.
It can happen at any age.
Yeah, of course.
And it doesn't mean it's going to be disastrous or an end. It could even be a beginning. You know, you can either sink and go into a depression and give up, really. And in many ways, I sympathise. It would have been quite easy to do. You suddenly have a whole way of life taken from you.
Yeah.
It can happen when you just think, how do I go on from here?
Yeah.
But there is always a way through, I think.
Yeah. You've completely changed direction in a way. And I guess what it shows as well, you know, you can do this at any stage of your life.
The family all thought it was quite funny that I was starting to be a novelist at the age of 74, but you know, 7 books later, they can't really be surprised anymore.
Like, that's okay. Like, that chapter, you know, it was the end of that chapter almost, is how I see it. And now I think it's great because it's almost, it forced me to look at different avenues, like look at different things that I am able to do.
Closing a chapter of something that used to be and opening a new chapter to the next part of where you are in life.
Yeah. A lot of the time it's just mind over matter. So I'm not saying it's easy because it's not easy. Like you learn what works for you. Even little things like kind of getting used to your new normal, I think would be the best way of putting it. But you don't have to stay where you are now.
It can be so hard to see where the shards of optimism and light might be. Try and be mindful of the smallest things in your life that might seem mundane. And if you can be mindful of those small, tiny things in life, you will see how much beauty there really is out there. Whether it's the smell of, you know, the countryside, whether it's just the way that the sun rises or the sun sets, I guarantee you and I promise you there is beauty in every facet of this life. Look for the small things in life because they are there, I promise you. And when you notice them, I promise you that you will smile. And in that smile lies your power, lies your response, because you will stop reacting and you will respond to things.
I wouldn't swap that experience. I wish I could remember a bit more of those days, you know, because years pass. I mean, that's the thing, when you're drunk, years pass. If it hadn't have been for those times, then I wouldn't be who I am today. Just realising that the way you are today is the product of all the previous days. You know, and if you change one thing here or there, then you're going to end up being a different person. You end up being who you are today, and today is what matters. And where we are now is the only moment we have.